Hang on. Let me get my lean on. How about it? Lay back, chance.
Hey Tim, why do you always get the minivan? You don't give them the minivan secret to smoke.
Here's the reason why. Do you see that?
Plenty of room.
Today's going to be a great day. We're getting a behind-the-scenes tour at the old Seagram's plant, otherwise known as Ross and Squibb, or the MGP. So this is where we first started buying all the barrels.
Jillian.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
A badge. Just make sure you guys all scan your badge. That lets me know just in case if we have an emergency here, we all know who's here. We can get you guys all out safely. When you guys come back out, go to lunch or something, just make sure you guys scan out, and I'll let me know that you guys are leaving the plant, okay?
Back up and so my name's Perry Ford. I retired February 3rd of 2023.
We try to find very rare, exclusive whiskey that other people can't get or don't know about. Mm-hmm. And then we cherry pick the best barrels from that to bring them into our warehouse in Texas. Mm-hmm. and then we have people come in, they can make their own whiskey, so the whiskey blendery, so people come in and make their own blends, high-end blends using 7 to 10 year MGP. Yeah. And then we bottle it for them, and they can take it with them, or we do a lot of like corporate stuff right now too. So corporate gifts and client gifts and that kind of thing. So we're kind of the exclusive kind of high end where you can't just go to the store and find our brand.
Man, I can see the demand for something like that. I really can. What got you headed down that road? I'm sure you just didn't. You were in the business, right?
I wasn't in the business. No,
oh, really?
I wasn't in the business. Yeah, actually, Barry was my first call. My first call with him, and it was almost like if you watch Seinfeld, like the soup Nazi, where it's like you gotta have your money ready, know what you want, and like be ready to go. Yeah. And then it was like hard to even like get a call in because I was nobody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was always been a huge fan of MGP, the consistency, and like if I'm starting something, by myself, it's like, man, I need these barrels to be good. So that's why you guys were my first call, because I had a really good idea of what I could get from here. And if that first truck shows up and the barrels were no good, well, my business doesn't get off the ground. Yeah. So yeah, it was just, I've been in the whiskey community for a long time. Mm-hmm. Met some of the best people in my life. Mm-hmm. My best friends were met over whiskey. Mm-hmm. My brother's in town from Missouri, and my relationship with my dad, my brother, got better over whiskey. Mm-hmm. And it's just the generosity of people in the whiskey community has been really special. So it was just something that I kind of wanted to get into, and then right when COVID hit, it shut down some of my other businesses, and so then I went full time on this and starting this brand. So
those words that you use to talk about our industry, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It's a close-knit industry. Mm-hmm. It's a friendly industry.
So go ahead and tell them your name and walk them through your experience at MGP and what they're looking at in terms of behind the scenes and kind of what you learned.
Hi, my name is Tim Hewells with the Whiskey Blendery, and we had a great day at MGP taking a tour and tasting some barrels. And never really have an expectation when you do something cool like this, but today was really cool. Today was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with some great people, met some new friends, had a lot of good conversations with their master distiller, and I have some samples headed my way that I'm extremely excited about, stuff that I didn't even know existed, and even some stuff that doesn't exist anymore that we still got to try, that's even worth laying down some new fills and waiting 7 years for it. That's how much we liked it. We even did some mini blends there, and the stuff was amazing. So I'm definitely excited for the future.
Now, go ahead and walk them through why you chose to start your journey with MGP.
Yeah, I chose to start our journey with MGP because I had so many bottles of MGP, like hundreds of bottles. So as I'm blending with things, I know those profiles very well, and they're very consistent. So if you name a certain mash bill with a certain barrel cooperage on a certain floor in a certain rick house, like some of those things I know, and they're very consistent. So when I'm choosing which barrels to start our company with, that's why I went with MGP. It was a very well-known profile, and the consistency. I knew when that truck shows up that I'm going to have good whiskey on it. I wouldn't have to, guess, hey, are these going to be single barrels? Are these going to be trash? Am I going to start over? So MGP has a long-standing history of consistency of a flavor profile that I thoroughly enjoy in their bourbons and their rye.
Now, can you explain to people why the whiskey at the Blendery, even though we're sitting at MGP, still tastes different?
Yeah, I mean, even though they have consistency, there's still a lot of diversity in their barrels, and you see that. Like, I mean, how many different brands use MGP? But you try it with one brand, or you try it with another brand, and then you try it with ours, and it's like, hey, why do these taste different? There are some variables there that I just mentioned: the cooperage, which rick house, which floor they're on, that kind of thing. But then also we try to age them for a little while in Texas. So some of our best barrels have 1 to 2 years on them after we bring in really good single barrels and then let them age for 1 to 2 years in Texas. I mean, that accelerates things and changes the flavor profile quite a bit. I mean, we tried at least half a dozen different, like, well-known mash bills, and they were all very good. Like, the lots were great. Several guys in our group said, man, 1 more year in Texas, just bring these barrels in for a year in Texas, that would put these over the top. And they're right. So I think that makes a big difference.
What was the thing that you enjoyed most about the tour, being able to almost like put a face to a name? Like somebody call you guys build a relationship, but you got to literally physically see the lots that you like in a sense and everything. What was that like?
Yeah, this sounds kind of nerdy, but like the engineering and the structural engineering behind the place. I mean, I was making a comment on the buildings, like walking down the buildings, and they're in a perfect line, and the bricks, like all the way up, like everything, the masonry and the construction and the concrete pillars. So we were at Amin's new place that I don't even know if he announced that yet, but he's got an old Seagram's building that he's moving into, and it's the coolest thing. And when we're at the old Seagram's buildings today, they felt the same, and they had the same like huge concrete pillars. I didn't even walk it off, but maybe every 15 feet there was this massive pillar going straight through it. It's like, man, these things. We made a comment yesterday, like, wow, this, if there's a tornado or something, like, I would want to go here. And then all the buildings had a tornado sign, like these were a tornado shelter, because they can withstand anything. And the amount of weight on these barrels, like, it was just really cool to see. Like, even one rick house that we went into, you walk in and they even warned you, like, hey, take a deep breath before you go in, because there's gonna be a ton of alcohol vapors just like hit you in the face as soon as you walk in. And I'd never experienced that before, because most of the rick houses that you go into, they have some level of air movement or natural ventilation or windows that are open. Well, this thing was like a concrete fortress, and you walk in and it's like, yeah, nobody spark up anything, because this thing would blow. And that was pretty cool, because you feel it. You feel the density in the air, and it was it changed your breathing habits, and I mean, historic stuff. Like I was taking pictures of the old rickhouse wood, and man, it was the stuff holding up the barrels. Like you could even see, when they're pulling the barrels off, they use some machine, and it's a tight tight turning radius, but at the bottom, the 5x7s or 4x6s that are holding those ricks up, you could see that it almost looked like a beaver was eating at them, because every time they turned, they would nick that. And some of the ones, I mean, they were like, man, you gotta replace these, because these are holding up a lot of weight. And so just little things like that are super cool. I mean, to see what they do with the spent mash, and I mean, just even the warehouse P was really cool. So I didn't know this, but like when I send them a message to pull the barrels that I need on the next truck, so they pull them. So in usually a 2 to 3 week time frame, they get them pulled, and then they move them into this warehouse P, and it's a huge warehouse. I mean, it had to have been probably 40,000 barrels in there. And those are barrels that aren't aging in there. They're in there set in the queue for trucks to come pick up. So I mean, we're talking, I don't know if it was a 600-foot long building, or, I mean, it was extremely long, several football fields. And then the trucks go in at the one end, and then it's like, hey, yeah, when you call in an order, so these are all the staging areas for the trucks to pick up those orders. Like, that was pretty cool too, to see the operations.
And now, was today a date that solidifies your kind of dream being brought to fruition, with great hopes for the future? I mean, there's no negative way. I was going to say, ask a contrasting question, but you go, how could you not be inspired to continue to create greatness when you see, it all being put together? Yeah,
it makes you think on a larger scale, at least for me.
Yeah.
Towards like, man, you think of when those buildings were built, like somebody had to have that vision, and somebody had to have a dream to like make this thing, and like to build one of the largest distilleries in the world right there. Like that's pretty cool. Like that doesn't just happen without a visionary and somebody like, hey, let's do this. And so it's inspiring to see something that was thought up so long ago still be in operation today. And even my brother asked a cool question, because one of our favorite barrels that we called Special K, that rye that we did in 2022, we named it Special K because it was out of Warehouse K. And so he asked, hey, can you show us Warehouse K, or where is that? And he said, why do you ask that? And like, how do you know about Warehouse K, kind of thing? And then he's like, oh yeah, we got some really good barrels out of there. And he said, well, that's over in the Shinley building that we acquired. So they've got 77 acres now, but I think it was like 20 or 22 acres that they acquired from the old Shinley building. And that's what's Warehouse K right now. And he's like, well, what year were those? And I said, well, that one was a 2015 barrel. And he goes, okay, well, that's when we first, acquired that and started moving barrels in there. So that was one of the first barrels out of Warehouse K in the old Shinley. And I've got some old bottles of Shinley. Like, so that's pretty cool.
And anything that people should know about the future of the Blendery, especially be it, you are now almost a master sorcerer, to say the least, but you do such a good job at leading people to the brown juice, to say the least. What's the future look like after seeing things like today take place?
Yeah, I don't know. I think MGP is a really good core for us to I mean, it's so versatile, and my team knows how to blend with it very well. So when people, like I was even talking to the master blender on orders that they get in, and we want to, can we get this profile or that profile? And I mean, he knows the barrels so well that he can make these blends for them. And we're kind of getting there. So I'd like to keep MGP as a base for what we do. But to me, it's a lot of fun blending all these other distillates with MGP and seeing how well they pair together and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think the future continues to evolve and get interesting. I don't like things that just kind of get stale or doing the same thing over and over. So the way the wholesale market is right now. Like there's a ton of barrels becoming available, and it's a lot of fun for me to go check on those barrels, and we know what we like and we know what blends well, and to get a lot of diversity. I mean, last year we got a lot of diversity, I thought, you know, based on the 2 previous years we only had MGP. And then this year we've already got way more diversity than, like, I mean, more than double what we had last year, and it keeps going. And then to see the new things that we saw at MGP that most people have never even heard of before. I hadn't heard of it prior to today, and to see how cool those things are, and to hear about some other new things. So they're evolving and they're doing some new stuff too. So to be a part of that, but to be small enough and nimble enough to be able to pivot and then kind of get the best of all these different crafts, that, you know, people that have really spent decades mastering what they put in the barrel. Like I don't have those decades to put in it, and maybe this is first generation, who knows how it gets started, but yeah, to be able to take all the different crafts and to kind of put it in one spot and then offer that unique diversity to everybody that comes in the Blendery and to tell their story, I think that's pretty neat too.
All right, that concludes our tour and tasting of MGP. Pretty incredible place, so if you ever get the opportunity and somebody invites you to go with them, you should do it. But we've got some exciting news coming down the pipeline.